So what's the intro? Do I have to do anything? Smile.
You just look pretty.
Yeah.
All right.
Just look pretty.
I'm putting that
Recording.
on.
That's on video. That's gonna be the end.
Hey, Stan and Orion, we're no longer cheap seats because we don't want to get sued. We are Bootlegged in the Basement, and this is our guest Sarah.
Hey.
What movie did we watch, Sarah?
See, Mom, I know a girl.
We went and saw Killing Them Softly. So in Killing Them Softly, Brad Pitt plays a hitman who's brought in to kill off these three wannabe mobsters who decide to knock off a card game. And things just completely go awry from there.
Brad Pitt gets hired to whack people in the process. Not like whack, but, like whack. This is the spot where we move into the likes and dislikes.
Okay.
I know you've never done this before.
Do you want to run down the list?
It's my first time.
Okay, cool.
We'll be gentle.
Thank you.
No, we won't.
No, we won't. We paid for this time. My big thing for this movie is the cinematography. This movie had over half a dozen good shots. The specific things that come to mind are there's a beating scene in this movie. Not going to say who or what.
In a mob movie?
Oh, this is the best beating scene I've seen since Fight Club. Just beautifully done. It looked like the shot looked like you turned a corner and you were just watching some guy get the crap kicked out of him. And the drug scene. There's a scene of two characters getting high. That is the best visual representation of a drug high I've seen since Crash.
Things I liked about this movie. Really like the political satire in this, and you won't get it until the very end of the movie, but it's well worth it. It's like political satire with a chainsaw mixed with a sledgehammer mixed with Godzilla and a monster truck. It's amazing.
Monster trucking a chainsaw?
I like how this is a monster truck chainsaw.
That's what made me think it's kinky. Why are you doing this to me?
Because we paid for this time.
So what I loved about this movie was the dialogue, the script throughout. It was beautifully written, really snappy, really well paced. Another thing I loved about this movie was the gore. I mean, it got extreme, deliciously done. I know that's not a good word to be describing gore, but I'm gonna use it anyway.
Perfect word.
So something I disliked in this movie was Brad Pitt, or well, more specifically Brad Pitt's face, because he's too pretty.
I don't really have a lot that I dislike about this movie, mostly because it's my fucking movie. Me and Troy, a friend of ours that you still haven't seen, and we swear to God he's not made up. When we were in the Army, we wrote a short film about two guys who try to knock off a mob poker game. A little bit different than the actual movie plays out, but the beginning premise and concept are entirely ours. We pitched this movie to a guy that Troy knows named Beck, who worked with Quentin Tarantino on Grindhouse. Beck called Tarantino, or Tarantino's company, whoever they set up with, and got permission for us to use their the bar from Grindhouse to film. And Beck, who was in the military with us at the time, had to transfer out to South Korea. And then we find out that Brad Pitt's making a movie with our script. On an apology and royalties.
So what would you guys rate this movie?
I'd give it a 2 beards out of 3.
I would give it 3 beards out of 5 hats. I don't know how that math worked.
I refuse to rate it.
Cool.
I'm just...
Alright guys, that has been Bootlegged in the Basement. I'm Dan, this is Orion, and this is our friend Sarah, and we're Rhymes with Runt. Check us out next week when we watch, I don't know what comes out, but in 2 weeks The Hobbit comes out,
It
and
does.
my boner is hard for that. We'll see
I
you
have
guys.
a lady boner for The Hobbit.